My guest on Cinema Showcase is Gilda Radner. We met you, most of us met you first, I guess, through Saturday Night Live. What led to that job?
Oh, years and years of, I'm not even sure what it was. But I had lived in Canada for many years, in Toronto. No intention of being in show business. I worked at a theater, a small non-equity theater, and I wasn't even in the plays. I was in the box office, and auditioned to be in Godspell, a show you've probably heard of. It went to every city in America and in Canada. And all during that time in Canada, there was a man very active in television writing and performing called Lorne Michaels, who was watching me and knew my work. And as his life progressed and he had this idea for a late night live television show, he asked me to be on it.
Connections that followed connections.
It really wasn't a connection. It was just, and it's something when I meet young people who want to, everyone automatically, they want to be a star, or they want to be in show business. And I always say, don't go anywhere to be in it. Stay where you are and do, if you love to do it, do whatever you can to be around or near what you love. Take whatever job. Don't just take pictures of yourself and go to New York or Los Angeles and hope you'll get a job. The most important thing is to work. Even after you have fame, even after you have success, still the most important thing is to work, the process, and let people find you. And I always feel like I was found more than I went out and sought my career.
Most everyone, I think, would agree that that cast was the best, or at least was the most special when you look back at the cast of Saturday Night Live. What do you think it had that none of the other cast had? Have you been able to pinpoint that?
Well, the only thing I think it had was there was no one to compare us to. The show wasn't famous, we weren't anybody, and we weren't that good, not in the first couple years. We learned how to do it. And then, as subsequent casts came on, they were compared to us. And the show was already famous, and they had something to live up to. We were creating. And certainly since then, it's still spawned wonderful, talented people. And will continue to as long as the show goes on.
Catch us up on some of our old friends, Lisa Loopner and Emily Latella. How are they doing?
They're in a drawer.
Yeah?
Yes, they're in a drawer in my house. I've outgrown, I think, certain of my characters since they've come from adolescence. And Emily Latella, who's based on a woman who raised me, who lives in Canada, Mrs. Gillies, she's still around, still raising me. And so the characters, they're inside me. They came from inside me. They'll always be inside me, but they're growing up with me.
How about the Broadway show? How did that come to be for you, and how did it make it to the screen?
Well, the Broadway show was really just a way of really bringing me live to people so that I could perform and people could see me in person and see the things that they enjoyed on television, hopefully. And the film, I think, was just a show business outgrowth of that, because everybody wants to go on to the next stage. Sometimes I wish that it never had been a movie, because then it would still be mine to take around personally to people.
But you did go on to films. You did First Family and Hanky Panky, and something very special happened to you at Hanky Panky.
Yeah, I met Gene Wilder.
Everybody loves a love story.
Oh yes, I know.
Can you tell us, without our being too imposing, about your love story?
Well, I guess it's just and I just met this person, this wonderful person, got a crush on him, that's what happens. Your heart starts fluttering, you don't know, can't put two words together, feet don't touch the floor, can't sleep at night. And you you don't feel like eating. It's that amazing thing, like Gene always tells the story about his own father. After his mother died, he became very ill, and he had arthritis, and he couldn't comb his hair and things. And then a couple years went by, and he met a woman who he had known in his life, and started to take her out. And next thing you know, he was combing his hair like this and moving around and traveling. And you know, they talk about illness and all these things, you know, that maybe they come from chemical things in our body. I think it should be a great sign to doctors and scientists that love, what it does to our bodies and our spirit and our health. And it's a thing that, you know, what is it? It just comes from meeting somebody and changing us and our whole chemical being. They should start, I think they could treat illness with love. And I'm just lucky in my life that I got that.
I guess everyone wants to know what makes you laugh that he does, and vice versa. Have you decided yet?
Yeah, well, we don't like sit around where he does scenes from his old movies and I do characters from Saturday Night Live.
What kinds of things make you laugh about each other?
Well, I love that Gene is absent-minded. He's like the absent-minded professor. He can direct a whole movie and keep every element of that movie and every shot and every musical thing in it totally in order, but he can never find his glasses, you know, or he can never find some pen that he put down somewhere, or where did he put that newspaper. So, and I enjoy that, like any wife would. And he makes me laugh, you know, because he's got such a mixture of personalities, a passive side and aggressive side, and he always surprises me.
What do you do to make him laugh?
I suppose surprise him. We're both full of surprises. Not like practical jokes or anything, but just there's these multiple personalities going around all the time.
There are going to be people who are always going to be surprised that you took the role you took in The Woman in Red. Why did you take the smallest role of the three women?
Well, because I felt I wasn't right to be either of the other two women. I liked it. I liked it because it was funny and it was different for me, and I wanted to be in that movie so that I could be with him.
And of course you are again with him in Haunted Honeymoon.
Yeah.
What was special about that role for you?
Well, because I got to be engaged to him, and I got to wear a wedding gown for 40 days in a row straight. And I got to take wedding photos that I never had from our actual marriage. And because I could play a different kind of ingenue type of role, you know, one more like the 30s, more feisty and spunky.
And you think you'll be working with him again?
I hope so.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you for talking with me.
Thank you, Lisa.
Appreciate it.